Hi everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to overwinter eggplant so you can grow the same plant next year. Now this video is especially applicable to southern gardeners, but I'm going to throw some tips in there for you northern gardeners as well. By southern gardeners, I mean those of you that live in a warmer winter climate, light to no frost. So you might be in Southern California, Arizona, Texas, Louisiana, in the southernmost part of the United States. And eggplant is often grown as an annual, but it's actually a tender perennial. You can grow over the winter, and the benefit to this is you'll have eggplant sooner to harvest in the spring. Now we just did a huge eggplant harvest from this plant, but the nighttime temperatures are getting into the 40s and 50s here in Southern California, and eggplant loves the warm summer weather. So chances are I'm not going to get much more production out of this plant. So now's the time to prune it back and get it ready for overwintering. Now, when you're overwintering, your goal is not to grow fruit during the winter, but just to keep the plant alive until temps warm up in the springtime, and then it'll take off and start producing for you again. So in order to do that, we need to prune this plant way back to manage the size, so all the energy can go into keeping the plant alive, not to growing new leaves. You want to start the overwintering process, like I said, when the production of your plant kind of dies back, when the nighttime temperatures are in the 40s, the 50s, because chances are your plant is not going to be producing anymore. So I'm just going to start by trimming off the outer branches of this plant. And this plant has actually been growing in here for about 18 months. This is the second season that it's been producing, and hopefully it will last for one more season. So you can still get a lot of great eggplant off it. These are Black Beauty eggplants. And man, did we enjoy the harvest. So I'll just clip off all these outer branches first. And it's going to be quite a drastic pruning here, but it's all for the best. And as long as your branches are healthy and not pest or disease infested, you can throw them into the compost pile. When you're overwintering your eggplant, you want to overwinter a plant that's fairly healthy. If you've got like a sickly plant, you might want to throw that one in the green bin. And this one is looking really good. The leaves are nice and healthy. I even have a few little eggplant on here that we missed for our harvest. Now that I've got the main canopy of the plant pruned, I'm going to go in and prune it a little bit tighter. And what I'm mainly looking for as an end product here is I want a couple of Y branches in the center of the plant, so the main stem and branches of the plant stay intact, but all the extra stems and foliage are trimmed off. So little by little, we're going to whittle this plant down to get it ready to overwinter. You can see these branches here are dry and crispy. Those are going to completely come off because those are dead branches, and the plant doesn't need them. This branch here is a nice green one, so we're going to leave that one on, cut it about halfway up. And don't be afraid to really drastically cut back your plant at this point, because that way all the energy goes into keeping the plant alive over the winter time, not into growing new foliage or growing new eggplants. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and remove the cage so I can get to the innermost part of the plant. And I am also removing most of the leaves here, because it really doesn't need those at this point. This cage does not want to come off. And this is why I kind of tend to do it gradually, so that I can prune around the cage and then pull the cage right off. Now, I know what you're thinking, this looks really, really drastic, right? But remember, we're just trying to keep this plant alive over the winter time. Come spring, it's going to be really fun to see new leaves branch out. Now, for your southern climate gardeners who do get some warm winter days, your plant may start to leaf out just a little bit. That's perfectly okay. Just let it do that. And you might want to trim it back just a little bit so it doesn't start producing fruit. So all the energy goes into keeping those roots nice and warm over the winter time. For your northern gardeners, at this point, if you want, what you can do is dig this plant up, put it in a container, move it in your garage or to a sheltered location, irrigation and keep it alive over the wintertime, keep the soil moist, and then plant it back outside again in the spring. Now, what you want to do too is put some mulch around the base of your plant. I already have about 2 to 3 inches of mulch around mine. That will just keep the roots nice and warm and toasty over the wintertime. And what I'm going to do too is I'm not going to waste this space here over the winter. I'm going to plant some shallow rooted plants such as arugula, some kind of greens, maybe some lettuce, so that it can still use this space over the wintertime. Another good plant that you can overwinter is peppers. I've got a video on how to do that. Put a link in the video description so you know exactly what to do. Well, we are still enjoying our eggplant harvest from last week. And you southern gardeners, I want to hear from you. Are you going to overwinter your eggplant or your peppers? I know we're looking forward to a nice early harvest of eggplant next spring. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video.